Good morning, all. Thanks for joining.
Good morning.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions in the last session? No questions? Thank you. So, let's continue the AD class. And today is very important topic we are going to conduct after the successful completion of AD installation. And few settings we need to configure on the AD server. So let's go to the Mumbai location, EC2 service, instances. Now the instance is AD. Let's start the server. So in general, in any environment, if you're shutting down the servers and when you power on, the startup sequence and shutdown sequence is there. So when a startup sequence, first we need to start the AD. Once the server is up, then you can start the member servers. And coming to the shutdown sequence process, first you need to shut down the member servers. Finally, you need to shut down the Active Directory server. This is a process, shutdown and sequence in AD perspective. So what was the domain we have created in the last session? What is the domain name? What was the domain name we created in the last session? Anybody can tell me?
Wipro domain, right? Wipro domain.
Exactly, correct. Wipro domain. Okay. So now I have started the wipro.com server. So ad.wipro.com. Please go on mute. So now AD server is ready. Let's connect the server. So right click, go to properties, and we need to change the IP address of the server. Then click OK. Go to save all. Anyhow, I'll be giving this name is ad.wipro.com. I'm going to connect with the administrator. Now we successfully connected the server. So this is the last session we successfully completed. Yeah. So where we can manage the users and computers? In the server, go to Windows administration tools, we have Active Directory, users and computers is there. You need to open here. So one more shortcut is there. Go to run dsa.msc. The command is dsa.msc. So both are fine. Now can maximize the screen, expand the wipro.com, and what are the computers in the particular domain. So all the computers will be showing here. So do you see any computers here? No. So what do you mean that? No computer is that to join into the domain computers. Now can go to the domain controller. So this is a AD server. This server I promoted as a domain controller. That's why only one domain controller is there. So what is this? A DC type, domain controller type. It is a GC. Do you know what is meaning of GC? Do you know what is meaning of GC? GC means global catalog. So that means all information about the objects in wipro.com, that complete data is maintained by the GC. Global catalog is a main server in Active Directory. It maintains the data. So especially global catalog. Okay. Active Directory, global catalog port number also is that 3268, 3269, 3268 and 3269. So this particular service, it is very, very important. So in terms of connectivity, a client to the AD and AD to the client, it's very important. So especially for Citrix people, I hope so here few people are joined from Citrix. The global catalog server, global catalog server will help us every time user it is connected to the storefront to access application from the data center. The global catalog port will get communicated and it will get responded 3268 and 3269, and then the authentication will get succeeded. Then user able to access the application session or maybe desktop session. Okay, just everyone, just a scenario purpose, you can see this. Okay, Citrix, Zen and Zen desktop log on architecture diagram. See guys, are you seeing this diagram? Are you able to see this? Here is a Active Directory. This Active Directory will help us if end user is trying to connect the applications and desktop from this server. Based on the AD authentication, the user will be getting connected to the Citrix environment, be able to access it. Clear? So this is a main configuration unit for the user authentication. It will allow to access a complete environment here. So without Active Directory, it's not possible. Understand? So if you understand, just you can give me some thumbs up like that, maybe some reaction. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now come back here. So here we have a default first site name. So even Active Directory, it maintains the site. So the site name, you can change it to based on your requirement, like India, Singapore, Malaysia, United States, UK, like that you can create it. But by default, the default first name is default first site name. That's the name will be there. Coming to that, manage security accounts. So there's a service account we are creating here for managing purpose. So the service accounts, everything we will be creating here. Like example, Active Directory purpose, we will create some users. Database purpose, some users will creating. And application purpose, different users we are creating. So any managed service accounts for the particular department, you will creating the users and we will be delivering here. Next is coming to the users. The users is, okay, by default, these are the users are available. When you're creating the fresh Active Directory, these are the user IDs are created. You can see this. Only two users are created. One is guest and one is administrator. Guest we should not use. That's not a security. So if you enable the guest, anybody can log in without password. That is not 100%. It's not a security. So that's why we are disabling by default. No such companies are enabling. So only guests we are enabling at airports, railway stations, hospitals. These are the areas we are opening the guest logins. Because, example, you're going to hospital and you want to take some printout. You're going to airport, you want to check your flight details and all. Okay, probably you don't have internet connectivity on your mobile. Understand? So what you'll do, you'll go to the kiosk desk. In the kiosk desk, you have option called systems are available. You can go and you can open the system, but system will be by default lock. If the person is not used the system for more than 5 minutes, the system automatically lock. But how you unlock the system? You need a username and password. Who will provide that? Don't worry, the providing the name like a guest. If you click on the guest, automatically log into the system and you can do your work. Then you can leave the workstation, either you can log out the workstation. So that's the purpose they're using. But in real-time environment, especially for IT environment, the guest option, we are not enabling it. Okay. And this administrator, by default, whenever we creating the Windows operating system, the local user name is administrator. That administrator, it's already okay promoted to a domain administrator. I told you know. So this administrator is now administrator@wipro.com. You can see here when you go to properties of this user and you're able to see the account information and you can see here Wipro /administrator. Previously, this administrator is a local administrator which is available on the control panel. Yes or no? Now you can see this in Active Directory. If you go to control panel, if you click here and you will see the information about the user accounts and click on user accounts. And here go to manage user accounts option is there. Only the administrator is there. That administrator also part of the Wipro.com. There is no local user right now. There is no local user because this concept is only applicable for domain concept, not for the member concept, only domain concept. Now I'm stopping here. Anybody have any questions up to this? Please raise your question now. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you understand, just give me like that. నిజంగా మీకు కాన్సెప్ట్ అర్థమైతే లైక్ చేయండి. If you're not liking anything, I can understand. So you're not understand the concept. This concept is 100% you need to learn for every engineer. Maybe you're a Windows administrator, maybe you're a Citrix administrator, you're a DevOps administrator, you're AWS administrator. This concept is commonly everybody know about it. This is a basic knowledge. This is a basic knowledge. Your wish. So now my job is over. So Active Directory, the concept, basic concept I explained. Okay. So what is the next concept? Normally in real-time environment for managing of users and computers, we will create a special administrator. They will do some tasks. They'll do some task. So for that purpose, I'm going to create a few administrator accounts here. One or two we can create, but I'll create one. Example. In Amazon EC2, there is a system 1 and system 2. The two systems I created, the system 1 and system 2, which is created. Right now, this system 1 and system 2, I'm getting power on. Once the machine is power on, I'll check that this machine is a work group computers. Work group computers. I'm going to create a two instances. Yeah. I'm going to create a two instances. One is system 1. And system 2. System 1 and system 2 I'm creating in the Amazon EC2. So now both machines are power on successfully. I need to log into the system first. So let's select the system number 1, take the public IP address. Now here, go to properties and paste the IP address of the server and click OK. Now I need to log into the system first. Okay. So before joining the system 1, so copy the system 2 IP address also. System 2. Click OK. Now I need to connect the server. So first I need to extract the password from the key pair file. Get connect, RDP client, get password. This is the key pair file I need to upload here. Decrypt the password, copy it. System 1, password is this. And what is the username? Local administrator. The system one I connected back. The system one I connected back. So in real-time environment, they will use a key pair password to log into the Windows instance by default, or once logging in, they will change the password also. It depends on the company, but security is key pair password. Key pair password cannot be remembered easily. Huh? Key pair password cannot be remembered easily. It's a very tough password, right? So even I'm also following the same real-time concept. Now the system one is ready now. So I'm going to change the computer name of this system. So go to the File Explorer and this PC and go to Properties here. Now you can see here, there's a computer rename is option is there. Click on rename. Just you can give the name, whatever the name you want. Example, system one, and click next. It applies to the system and it is asked to reboot the computer. It's mandatory step, you need to reboot the computer. Just click next. Similar way, go to system 2 and need to take the password from the key pair. This is a system 2 password. Now come here, right click, connect server as password. And click connect. Yes. Now I need to change the system 2 password as well. So what is the next step is go to File Explorer, this PC, right click, go to Properties. Rename the computer system 2 and click next. Now restart. Continue. I'm going to connect the system 1 password. Now you can see the system 1, the name was successfully renamed. Done. Next, system 2 also I need to connect. System 2. Now system 1 and system 2 both are successfully renamed. Okay. So when you want to start working on the computer, if the system is showing us a black screen, that means still the system is busy and is not ready to work. If the system is like that, if the blue screen and whatever the theme of the wallpaper it's displaying, then you can start work here. And you can check that if your file explorer is showing clearly, you can start work. So this machine, it is not ready to work. Okay. So in this case, you need to please wait for few more minutes, then system will up. Otherwise, still if the system is not up properly, what you need to do, you can go to start and you can restart the computer. Is that clear? Okay. So meanwhile, you can continue your work without any problem. Okay. So I think there's some network problem. So I'm audible.
Yes, Rajesh.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now I connected the server system 1. I need to check that this system, it is a work group computer or member computer. How can you check that? Go to right click on this PC, go to properties, and you need to identify whether it is a work group computer or maybe domain computer. You can see this, the computer name is changed and what is the processor it is and what is the RAM, what is the device ID, product ID, system type, and this all the information is provided. And if you want to know more information about, okay, advanced system settings, after clicking here, you'll get a system advanced settings under the computer name. Okay, even you can check this. The system type is work group. It's a separate computer. It's a separate computer and it is not part of any domain. So now if this mission wants to join to the domain member, okay, member, first condition is this system need to be communicated to this system without any problem. So what do you mean that? The communication should be without any issue. So that means go to copy the IP address of the server. So whatever the IP address is there for AD server, you can take the IP address of the server. Right now, I'm in AD, take ipconfig and copy the IP address and go to system 1, go to start, run TMD, ping, paste the IP address and hit enter. Now, what is the problem here? I'm not getting any communication between the client to server. So this is not correct. This is not correct. So there should be some problem in the network. So 100% loss. So now I'll put the continuous ping. That means -t, space -t. If hit enter, the client machine will be, the system will be destination system, it will be continuously pinging and showing the result. Keep on request timeout. What's the problem is the network port groups whether opened or not, that we need to check from the systems. The AD server in the security group, AD server in the security group, you can see is a default one. The same way, system one also default one. So go to default security group. Okay, go to default security group. Now can click edit inbound rule. So at present, only RDP port number is available. Okay, only RDP port is available. So with the RDP port, I can able to connect the server like this. From the remote desktop tools, remote desktop connections, I can connect it. But how the ping will check that? So can add the rule, all ICMP traffic should be allowed from where? From where? That's a very important. From where we need to allow. So ICMP traffic should be allowed between the security group. Between the security group. What is your default security group name? What is the default security group name? What is the default security group name? See here, SG07 DFF74. This is the name. And just save the rule. Now come back here. Now we got a request. Understand? Between the network, the particular security group, I allowed ICMP traffic so that the system able to communicate each other. Guys, listen carefully. This is a very important topic now. That's a very, very important topic now. So come back here. Now again, I'm going to edit inbound rule. Okay. So this will be remove. This will be remove and save that. Now you can check this. Now the request will stop. Request time dot again. The continuous ping is stopped. And it will wait for some time. And if the network is not responded, the system is not responded, that means this request is TTL value is at 128. So that means time to leave. If the packet is sent from the system 1 to AD and AD will be respond. So there is a network response and reply. If the reply is not coming, the message will get request time dot. Okay. Now I can go to Control C. Now I can put the continuous ping. Why it's again coming? Maybe it's a network problem. It should not communicate. It should not communicate. Why it is coming? This is actually is cache information. This is not correct. It should not ping. Okay. Previously, how we checked that the same way, it will not ping. But anyhow, the network connection I'll be enable it. So without network connection, it will not work. All ICMP traffic version 4 and from the custom IP. And I'm selecting that the 201, the default security group I'll select here. Where is the default one? 201. I just saved it. Now I'll go and I'll check that my communication is getting success. So the step number 1 is resolved. Step number 2. Go to change in the system properties. Right now the system is work group, right? We are changing to the domain. The domain name is wipro.com. And once you click OK, you will get this message. Because the system 1 does not know what is the DNS address of the wipro.com. So DNS address only, it allows to join to the domain member. So what is the IP address of the DNS server? Same IP. Why? Active Directory domain service and DNS service both were installed on this particular wipro.com server. So then only it become act as a domain controller. It act as a domain controller. So what we need to do, going back, copy the same IP address, copy the same IP address and come back to the system 1, click OK and right click, run network control panel. So here Ethernet, right now it's connected to network 2. Go to properties. IPv6 you can please uncheck, not required. IP version 4. Here use the following DNS server and paste here and click OK. Close it here. Then you can click OK. It will ask username and password because now we have set that the DNS address properly on the system 1 in the client network. In the client mission, I have set up the DNS. So DNS is very most important item. So why it is not communicating? So we need to troubleshoot this issue. We need to troubleshoot this issue. So let me remove the .com. Then we can try. Yeah. So the Wipro domain is unable to contact. But ping is working fine. Ping is working fine. But I'm unable to join the missions to the domain controller. So you can try for multiple times, provide a proper domain name and click OK. And you can try that. If it is not working, then you have to start troubleshooting the issue. So the domain name I have properly typed. Am I right? Wipro.com. The domain name I properly typed that wipro.com. But the system is not allowing and it is showing an error. So in this case, we need to check that any firewalls are on from the client machine. Yes. So there's a 2 firewall ports are on. Please turn off the firewalls on the client one. That's a system 1. Similar way, go to AD. Here also go to run firewall.cpl. Now 3 networks are there. These 3 networks we need to stop here. Now can try. No, Then we can try with the .com. It's not working. Then what we need to do, going back to the default security group, edit inbound rule, add rule, select for all TCP port, connect from the default security group and save it. Okay, just for trial. Okay. Now come back here, click OK. No. No, it's not working. So what do you mean that? So here we have what are the ports we have configured for all TCP? It is not working. And let's connect from the anywhere. Suppose connect from anywhere if I'm selecting that. So how it will be? So delete it. All TCP, connect from anywhere. So you must not specify IPv4 an existing reference network. Not possible. So there is some kind of restrictions are there. So because of already we have enabled in the security group, it was not created. So click cancel, go to edit inbound rule. So all TCP traffic also I enabled from the local security group. ICMP traffic also local security group. So first I'll remove the all TCP and save the configuration. Go to edit inbound rule, add one more type, all TCP. In the TCP, when I select here, now it is working. Now can save it. Go back, click OK. So previously I allowed internal. Now I'm enable on external. Anywhere also you can connect. But anywhere is not required in my point of view because of internally it is getting connected, right? That's the reason. No. Then final step. Remove the ICMP traffic, remove the all TCP traffic, add rule. All traffic can be allowed from anywhere and you can save it. And click OK. You'll get this kind of message. That means you're able to get communicate. So meaning that, so a client should be communicating to the server. So client should be communicating to the server. AD, the port number is LDAP. So LDAP port. Okay. 389. What is this LDAP port number? Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. So with this lightweight directory access protocol, the client will get responded to Active Directory and fetch the information and get communicated. So what is another port number for database? Global Catalog. The port number is 3268 3269. So 389 port number also very important other than Global Catalog. So this LDAP port number, it's very important. So for communication of client to the server, you can see this. This is the end user system. This is a LDAP server. So with this LDAP, it will communicating a secured channel going and coming. So port number 389. So normally when we are sending and receiving, both are not same port number. Actually, this image is wrong. Actually, 636 port number is there. See here we have. So port number establishing the connection is 636 also is required. So 389, 636, both port number is required. So right now when I have enabled all traffic, so both 389, 636 LDAPs both are enabled. Finally, I got a successful response from the AD and I can enter the username and password. But what username and password I need to enter? Whichever the user ID we created in Active Directory users with the domain admin permissions, only that user ID can be joined to the domain member, otherwise no. So how to create a user with the domain admin permission? Now I'm going to create a user AD admin. Username is AD admin. Okay. Username is AD admin and domain name is Wipro. I'm providing the password and click next and finish it. Now AD admin is created. So now with this AD admin shall able to add to the server AD admin password. And wait for some time and you will get some error. If you successfully logging in, I'll get a message like the system is joined to the domain member. So and so domain name will be showing here. So AD admin user doesn't have any permissions to join a member server. That's a normal work group computer to domain computer. So go to see this. Welcome to the wipro.com domain. Now click OK. OK and close it here and restart now. You can see this in AD server. Go to computers. Right now there's no computer is there. Once you refresh here, the system one was added. The system one was added only because of the AD admin. So now with this AD admin, after the system is successfully rebooted, okay, and I'll try to logging in. Whether it will allowed or not, we need to check that. So first step is created a user ID. And with the user ID, we have successfully added the system into the domain member. Now in the system one, after rebooted successfully, I need to connect like this. So Wipro /AD admin and password. Right? And I'm saving the credentials and trying to connect. See this system1.wipro.com. I'm trying to connect the server. See, I don't have a remote authorized to log into the system. So I able to join that, but I don't have any permissions to log in. So what we need to do, we need to provide a member of option. Is it just a domain user? We can add domain admin permission. Domain admin permission to the user. Apply and OK. Now come back to the system one. Right click. Connect server as. What is the user ID? AD admin. And click connect. Now I'm able to join the system, connect the system successfully. Clear? Any questions? Same way, I'm going to system 2. Go to properties of the computer. Advanced PC. Change. Wipro.com. Why I'm getting this message? Any reason?
IP address level का sir.
IP address is not provided. That's correct answer. So go to run ncpa.cpl. Ethernet 2. And go to IP version 4. Following the DNS address. Click OK. Now can enter the username admin and password. Now can refresh here. System 2 also added successfully. Click OK and OK and close it and restart the computer. So now system 2 also added successfully into the domain member. So next concept is how to provide a normal users to log into the system. Okay, normal users, how they can log into the system. Okay, with the full permission, without full permissions, what is the difference? I'll show you. Okay. So for every system, okay, first let them, you can join to the system 2, then I'll show you. Let's connect to the system 2. There's some network connection problem. You can see here in the system 1, I logged in with the AD admin account with the full permissions so that the power option also I can able to disconnect, shut down and restart. Suppose this system is connected by normal user. If it is a shutdown, so what is the problem? So the system cannot able to access by other people. That will become big problem. And who will be available in the data center? And whoever able to power on the server from Amazon EC2, only that user is available around the clock in this situation. So normally in real-time environment, few servers only they have access to the full control for few people, not for all the people. How can restrict the controls, power options for few people from the Active Directory? So in AD, we'll create a group name called, okay, remote desktop users group. Remote desktop users group they will create. So that's a global and a security group they will be creating here. Remote desktop users group. This particular remote desktop users group will be adding into the server. Like example, in the server one, go to run lusr mgr.msc. Okay, lusr mgr.msc. Go to groups. Here, remote desktop users are there. There they will get added like this. Remote desktop users group. Just now created, right? Apply and OK. And same way, I'll go to the system to run lusr mgr.msc. I'll go to the compute groups, remote desktop users, add. Done. See guys, now I'm going to power on. I'm going to sign out here from the system 2 and as well as the system 1. Suppose I'm creating a username Ramu. Okay, I'm creating username is Ramu. Suppose if the Ramu also is a part of domain member, user not able to get connected to the system. You can see here. Ramu Wipro /. So the user account not authorized for remote login. Now what we can do in AD itself, go to remote desktop users group. Okay, members just can add username Ramu. In real time, once you join the company, they will add like this. Now you can connect the system. That's a very simple job. That's very simple job. This is a way the system permissions they will provide to access through AD. So going forward, every concept it's going through AD only. So you can relate it to that. Either you are a AWS admin or maybe you are a Citrix admin. Okay. So your all permissions is coming through AD services only. Suppose if Ramu wants to trying to shut down the system. If you go to power option, You don't have option like the power off, restart. It has only disconnect because we restricted our controls with the particular group. It's very simple, right? This is the way the systems and users are managing through AD in a simple way. But first you need to set up the architecture in a proper way, then only you can get this kind of facilities. Otherwise, no. So now I'm stopping here. Any questions?
సార్ ఒక డొమైన్ కి ఎన్ని సిస్టమ్స్ అయినా యాడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు సార్?
N number of system you can add, not a problem. But normally there's a limit will be there for standard operating system. Domain control have some limitation. Data center operating system domain control have different limitation is there. You can check the Google. I am not remembering that the limitation. You can check that.
ఓకే సార్.
Yeah. So as of now, the concept I explained last 2-3 classes, 100% it's a self-managed Active Directory. Self-managed means everything you need to create and you need to manage it. Okay. Self-created Active Directory. So tomorrow concept is something different. AWS enabled, AWS managed Active Directory concept. That's the competition of Azure Active Directory. Okay. It's very, very highly demanded in the market. Okay. So comparative with the AWS, Azure, AWS concept and Azure concept, both are same. Okay. So now I'm explaining here AWS Active Directory concept. You can put in your resume. So in Active Directory, so in a 2-level, self-managed Active Directory in on-prem and as well as the AWS EC2 and as well as AWS managed Active Directory service also. You can mention that in your resume after completion of tomorrow class. It's very demanding. In real-time environment, it's very demanding concept. Sometimes you get a chance to, you have to build your own domain controller. So what are the classes we explained and we practiced that will really help to you. So if your setup is not perfectly prepared, then your environment also will be in the bad phase. Okay. So try to create it. So then last one concept I will explain. Okay. Last one concept I'll explain here. Suppose the system 1 is that you're trying to change the name. Yes, you can change the name automatically reflecting on the domain controller. Go to the File Explorer, this PC, and go to Properties. Suppose this system name, I'm going to change it as some name. I don't have permission. Why? Because I'm a normal user. Suppose if the system 1, I'll be sign out. The system 1, I'll be sign out. And system 1 or maybe system 2, if I connect with the AD admin, I have a full admin rights to rename the computer. Suppose the system 1, I'm renaming it as a license server, maybe. Okay, maybe some other server. So let me take that. Go to this PC. Right click, Properties. Rename this PC. Suppose this system I'm going to rename it as a LIC, license server. Some other name, whatever the name you want, you can create it. Restart now. Done. So now this server is LIC server. Now this system, I'm going to change it as some other name. I'm going to name it as XDC01, some other name, maybe other purpose I'm creating it. We start now. Then I can change the display name here. Click OK. File save all. Okay. Now I can go to AD, computers, refresh here. Now the names are automatically changed. Okay, you don't want to do anything. And next step, the final concept, these computers are registered in the domain controller, okay, as a domain member, but these systems are getting response from the client or maybe any other systems by using the IP address or maybe computer name. So if the user, if administrator is trying to connect the server, maybe they can connect with IP address or maybe name. So which is a user friendly to remember? Is a computer name is user friendly or maybe IP address is user friendly to remember? Computer name, right? So if computer name, if you want that to remember, okay, the DNS service is required. So DNS service is required. So first we need to open the DNS service here. The DNS service are two types, forward lookup zone service and reverse lookup zone service. So once you open that, there's a forward lookup zone service and reverse lookup zone service. Reverse lookup zone by default, it is not there. Only forward lookup zone is there. In the wipro.com, if you're giving any name, it will resolve with the IP address. You can see this. If you go to command prompt, type ns lookup command. Hey, what is IP address of AD? ad.wipro.com. It is resolving successfully. Suppose what is a XDC01? XDC.wipro.com, and it is name is not resolving. What is the problem here? Still the name is not reflecting in the DNS. These are the problems we are facing in real-time environment. Okay, these are the problems we are facing in the real-time environment. So LIC was updated. Buchi, can you please go on mute? LIC.wipro.com. Now this name is successfully resolved, but system 2 is not resolved successfully. Okay. Now can go to all task, reload. Yes. No. Refresh. System 2 only is it. I'm going to XDC 1. Very, very rarely you'll get this type of issue. See, this name is changed, but the name is not reflecting there. But in Active Directory, the system is updated. So how to resolve the problem? Manually, we need to resolve the problem. So what we can do, the system 2, you can go to properties. The name is there. Then you can remove and we can do that. But remove adding is not possible. Right click directly, you can delete it. Right click, add host name, XDC01. And what is the XDC01 IP address? Better can go to the command prompt, check IP config, enter, go here, paste that IP address and click add host. Done. Now you can go here Now it is showing this IP address properly. Okay, I given that host name, it resolved with IP address. Suppose I'm giving NS lookup, okay, and I'm giving the IP address 172.31.37.171. It will not resolve because reverse lookup zone is not configured. Reverse lookup zone is exactly opposite of forward lookup zone. If you're giving the name, it resolve with IP address. And if you give the name and it resolve with a host name also, it is possible with the reverse lookup zone. The default steps you can select it. And what is the network we need to select here? So the network is very simple. Okay, network is very simple. So what we need to do, whatever the IP address is there, you can check this IP config if you're selecting that. The first 172.31.43. Okay. So different IP addresses are there. Different IP addresses are there. So based on that, the network range we need to select it. The network range we need to select it. That's a very important. Okay, that's very important. So right now, this XDC01 and license server, when you want to give the reverse lookup zone, and you need to set this particular IP range, then only we able to get connected. Otherwise, not possible. So one network will be called as 172.31.43 network. I'll show you. Just cancel it. If you go to wipro.com, AD is in 43. License is in 41. XDC is in 37. So different networks are there. So because of by default network we have selected, right? That is the reason we are getting this type of different network range, but everything is in same subnet mask range, but there is not a single subnet. It's a different subnet is available. So in real-time environment, this is not like that they are using. They're creating the custom network, like a example 172.31.1 series, 172.31.2 series, like that only one series they will use it. So for that reason, I'm not able to create the reverse lookup zone. If you want to create a reverse lookup zone, I need to create a 3 zones. I need to create it. For that is a managing very difficult because of one server, one zone is very difficult. So right now reverse lookup zone I was not selected, but not a problem. That is not a big issue. You can remove it. Okay. If everything will be in one reverse lookup zone, that means every server will be same subnet you need to create. That's very important. Clear? So if you're giving the name and automatically resolving with IP address, that is enough for us. So in the next session, when we are deploying any server like a web pages, web servers, okay, then how to use this DNS services, how to access it, that I'll show you in the real-time application. Tomorrow I will install it on one of the server. I'll show you. So based on that, you can easily understand whether the how application is installed and running fine. So everybody please create the similar kind of structure without any failure. Thank you very much.